In 1996, there were several major events that made headline news. The Summer Olympics took place in Atlanta. Centennial Olympic Park had a bombing during the Summer Olympics in Atlanta. Theodore Kaczynski, who was also known as the Unabomber, was arrested by the FBI. Clinton and Gore had a re-election campaign. In 1996, scientists in Scotland announced they successfully cloned a sheep named Dolly. 1996, a Boeing 747 aircraft crashed into the Atlantic Ocean shortly after takeoff from JFK International Airport in New York, and all 230 people on board were killed. The world goes on even though you received a diagnosis. In the midst of personal upheaval, the world around us continues to move forward with relentless momentum. While individuals grapple with life-altering events, whether it's receiving a diagnosis, experiencing loss, or navigating significant changes, the external world remains indifferent to their struggles. Time marches on, seasons change, and daily routines persist, creating a stark contrast between the static nature of personal turmoil and the dynamic flow of the world at large. This juxtaposition can intensify feelings of isolation and alienation as individuals grapple with the disconnect between their internal turmoil and the seemingly unaffected external environment. Despite the profound impact of personal upheaval, life goes on, presenting a poignant reminder of the resilience required to navigate the complexities of existence. From Nancy B., this is Take Care Time, the Tales and Exhales of Caregivers, the Diagnosis, Part 2. It's June 4th, 1996, in Southern California. The weather's sunny, warm 73 degrees. While the weather may be perfect, Lisa Thompson is not having a perfect day. Lisa and Ethan are at the Kaiser Permanente Pediatrics waiting room, waiting for his name to be called. Ethan has a 1 o'clock appointment with his new pediatrician. Lisa switched doctors because she has grown weary of the inconclusive diagnosis that the previous doctor gave her for Ethan's lack of hitting his milestones. That doctor considered several possible explanations for the symptoms, but is not yet determined the specific cause, and Lisa is determined to have a proper diagnosis today, as she knows without a proper diagnosis, she doesn't have any way to begin any intervention or services. As Ethan begins to squirm and attempts to get away from Lisa, the door opens. Ethan Thompson? Lisa and Ethan stand up, and Lisa takes Ethan's hand as they walk toward the examining room. Lisa whispers to Ethan, "It's okay. We're going in now." They enter the examining room, and the doctor greets them. "Good morning, Lisa, and this must be Ethan. Please have a seat." Lisa and Ethan sit down, and the doctor looks at Ethan's chart. "So, Miss Thompson, you've mentioned some concerns about Ethan's development? Can you tell me more about that, what you've been noticing?" Lisa nods. "Yes. Dr. Ethan's been showing some unusual behaviors, like he's not responding to his name, avoiding eye contact, and he has been fixated on certain objects. He'll stick with one object and stick with that all day. I've noticed delays in his speech and his social interactions." The doctor is listening intently. "I see. Thank you for sharing that with me, Miss Thompson. We'll start with a thorough examination and some developmental assessments to better understand Ethan's needs." Lisa nods. She's feeling a mix of anxiety and hope as she waits for the doctor's evaluation to begin. As the doctor takes Ethan through an examination and assessments, he tells Lisa, based on Ethan's behavior, developmental delays, and the results of the assessments, I can confirm that he meets the criteria for autism spectrum disorder. Lisa takes a moment to absorb the news, feeling a flood of emotions. Lisa can finally put a name to what is going on with Ethan. She exhales and tears well up. She asked, "Does this mean that Ethan will always have autism?" "Autism is a lifelong condition, but with early intervention and support, Children like Ethan can make significant progress in their development and lead fulfilling lives. Lisa nods, trying to process the information as she looks at Ethan, who is playing with a toy nearby. Thank you, Doctor. What do we do next? We'll discuss treatment options and therapies tailored to Ethan's needs. I'll also provide you with a list of resources and support to help you navigate this journey. Lisa takes a deep breath, feeling a mix of relief and apprehension about what lies ahead for her son. With the proper diagnosis, Lisa is now able to access necessary services and interventions for Ethan, but this late diagnosis can significantly impact his development and progress because early intervention is crucial in addressing the challenges associated with autism spectrum disorder. Lisa may exhale today because there is a sense of relief, but there is also a measure of grief. Lisa picks up Ethan and hugs him tight and kisses him on the head, thanks the doctor and his staff, schedules his next appointment, and heads home. A new chapter begins. Most children are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, by the age of 2 or 3, although some may receive diagnosis earlier or later depending on various factors such as the severity of symptoms and access to diagnostic services. Early detection and intervention are key in improving outcomes for individuals with autism. A late diagnosis of autism can pose certain challenges for Ethan. Since autism is a developmental disorder, early intervention is crucial for providing support and services that can help address his specific needs and promote optimal development. With a late diagnosis, Ethan may have missed out on early intervention programs and therapies that may have been beneficial during his formative years. As a result, he might face difficulties in areas such as social interaction, communication, and behavioral regulation. Later that evening, when Jackson returns home from school, Lisa says, "Hey, Jackson, I want to talk to you about something that's very important. You know how Ethan sometimes acts differently from the other kids? Well, I found out today that it's because he has something called autism. It means his brain works a little differently, but it doesn't change how much we love him or how special he is. Sometimes he might need extra help with things, and it's important for us to be patient and understanding. Do you have any questions about that?" Jackson asks if that is why Ethan can't talk, and Lisa tells him yes, but we have to continue to talk to him. We may show him pictures to help him communicate. Lisa dives into learning everything she can about autism and connecting with other parents who have children with autism. It is through one of these connections that Lisa meets a woman who changes the course of the lives of the Thompson family. As Lisa seeks support for Ethan, she meets an attorney named Jess Siegel, who specializes in advocating for children with special needs. Jess's dedication to her own twins, who also have autism, give her a deep understanding of the challenges faced by many families like Lisa's. With Jess's guidance, Lisa learns how to navigate the complex systems of support and services available for children with autism. Together, they develop a comprehensive plan to ensure that Ethan receives the resources and interventions he needs to thrive. Jess becomes not only a legal advocate for Ethan, but also a source of empathy and encouragement for Lisa during this challenging time, and she really needs it, because Mark's behavior continues to spiral out of control. Despite Lisa's efforts to address Ethan's needs and provide support for their family, Mark remains disengaged and focused on his own pursuits. His reckless behavior puts further strain on their relationship and complicates their ability to cope with Ethan's diagnosis. Eventually, Lisa confronts Mark about his actions and demands that he take responsibility for his role as a father and husband. However, Mark's response and the consequences of his behavior remain uncertain, adding to the tension and the uncertainty in their family dynamic. Mark has taken to coming home late at night and spending the weekends with his girlfriend. By the time Jackson turns 9 and Ethan 6, Mark has completely checked out as a husband and father. He shows up to events if notified and no longer contributes to the family expenses. When Mark chooses to spend time with his sons, it's only Jackson that he shows the interest in. Mark tells Lisa that he's not into autism. Mark's callous statement cuts Lisa deeply, revealing his selfish priorities and lack of concern for their family's well-being. Despite Lisa's efforts to maintain a civil relationship for the sake of their children, Mark's indifference and disregard for Ethan's needs further strain their already troubled marriage. Lisa realizes that she must rely on her own strength and support network to navigate the challenges ahead, as Mark's absence leaves her to shoulder the responsibilities of caring for Ethan and advocating for his future alone. When Jess and Lisa meet with the school district to negotiate Ethan's new IEP and ABA therapy allowances, Lisa casually asks Jess if she knows any divorce attorneys. Jess looks at her knowingly. Jess has never once met Mark, so she knows Lisa is the hands-on parent. Lisa's request to Jess reflects her growing realization that her marriage with Mark has reached a breaking point. Jess, a trusted friend, may offer recommendations for divorce attorneys based on her own experiences or those of others she knows who have gone through similar situations. This conversation marks a significant step for Lisa, who, as she prepares to confront the difficult decisions and legal proceedings ahead in her journey toward independence and stability for herself and her children. Lisa's growing resentment towards Mark is understandable, given the stark contrast in their roles and priorities as she shoulders the responsibility of caring for their children, including their son Ethan, who requires additional support due to his autism. Lisa feels increasingly frustrated and abandoned by Mark's lack of involvement and support. While she devotes her time and energy to their family, Mark's absence and indifference only intensifies her feelings of loneliness, betrayal, and anger. Moreover, witnessing Mark's irresponsible behavior, his pretending to be an engaged husband and father in front of their friends and family when he is actually off gambling and engaging in an affair, deepen Lisa's sense of disillusionment and resentment towards him. As she struggles to manage the challenges of parenthood and advocacy alone, Lisa's resentment towards Mark continues to grow, impacting their relationship and family dynamics. Lisa has decided she doesn't want to live her life like this. She wants better for her children. Join us next Thursday when Mark's reaction to Lisa's decision to divorce him escalates to a new level of hostility and vindictiveness. In his anger and desperation, he resorts to various destructive behaviors aimed at retaliating against Lisa and causing her further distress. This episode is brought to you by Puzzlebilities, where you can immerse yourself in a world of relaxation and challenge with Puzzlebilities' latest creation, the lavender-scented sensory jigsaw puzzle. Crafted with care and designed to soothe your senses, this puzzle combines the joy of puzzling with the calming aroma of lavender. Visit Puzzlebilities.com, where you can order the new lavender puzzle and subscribe to a subscription box and other puzzle accessories. Are you interested in learning more about autism? We recommend Autism Speaks, a leading autism advocacy organization offering comprehensive resources, research updates, and support for individuals with autism and their families. Additionally, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which provides reliable information about autism spectrum disorder, including statistics, diagnosis, and treatment options. Also, National Institute for Neurological Disorders and Stroke. The abbreviation is NINDS. They offer an in-depth information about the latest research and scientific advancements related to autism and neurological disorders. Also, the Autism Society, a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the lives of individuals with autism through advocacy, support, and education. Their website provides valuable resources and information for individuals and families affected by autism. The best one yet? Your local autism support groups and organizations. Many communities have local support groups and organizations that offer workshops, seminars, and resources for individuals and families affected by autism. These groups can provide valuable support and connect you with others who understand your experiences. By accessing information from reputable sources, you can gain a better understanding of autism and access resources to support individuals with autism and their families. Please note that this episode features reenactments and dramatized details. While in most cases the exact verbatim dialogue may not be known, all dramatizations are grounded in research. To respect the privacy and confidentiality of individuals involved, names and some identifying details have been changed. Do you have an interesting caregiver story that you would like to have told? Please email us at podcast@takecaretime.com. We would love to hear from you. Till next week, take care.